Hello, welcome. This is Pete or Kenshin1913, and this is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. Today, I'm by myself, but we're going to be making something delicious, which is Muddy Buddies. Alright, so what are we going to need for Muddy Buddies? Muddy Buddies is pretty much a Chex base snack, which includes peanut butter, chocolate, and what else? Butter. It's delicious. It's a quick little snack that you can make. So what we're going to be needing is Chex, any type of mix. We got the 3 boxes. I got the rice, corn, and wheat. We need 9 cups of Chex. You need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. You need 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. You need peanut butter. For the recipe, the original recipe is 1/4 cup of peanut butter, but I'm going to be using 1/2 cup. You're going to be using 1 cup. Because I like peanut butter, you're going to be using 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then you're going to be using 1/4 cup of butter or margarine. You can either use, I'm probably going to use 1/3 cup, just because I'm doing something a little extra. And I'm going to be using that stuff. So, pretty much, it's a fairly simple recipe. You can get the kids involved. Of course, when you're melting chocolate and whatnot, that's the only problem. So, let's get started. Alright, the first thing we're going to be doing is actually doing a double boiler. Pretty much where you put water in, and then you put another bowl on top or whatever. Pretty much just going to do that. We're actually going to have the heat a little low. So, pretty much, you could do this in a microwave, but I like doing it in this double boiler. It gives me more control. Alright, so this is 1 cup of chocolate morsels. Next, I'm gonna put in 1/4 cup of the. Well, actually, let's get it melted. Should probably use a silicone, but yeah. So what you're just gonna do is just move the chocolate around, and this might actually get kind of hot, so you might want to use a holder. But yeah, I'm actually using a little bit more chocolate. It's about 1 cup, but I'm gonna use a little more. Now you don't want to burn this chocolate, you just want to get it melting. Which, as you can see over here, if I zoom in, if you look over here, you can kind of see it starting to melt a little bit. You do not want to let the any water though touch this chocolate, otherwise you're gonna get screwed because what is it? You know, if the chocolate touches the water, you could have like bad reaction or whatever. Alright, at this point the chocolate is starting to melt. I'm going to add my butter. It'll help make it a little more rich. If I can add it. There we go. Perfect. And I'm going to add just a little. Also, I'm going to add my peanut butter as well. If I can get it out of there. And yeah, you probably, it's faster to do in the microwave for sure, but you want to make sure that when this is all said and done and everything's mixed in together, that you're going to want to, what is it? Just let it cool. Alright, so at this point, lower the heat. You probably get it pretty low. And we're just going to mix everything. Mix it all together. Alright, as you can see, everything's coming together nice and smooth. Like, just want the butter to melt a little bit more. And pretty much at the end of the game, at the end of this, you want to add, that's when you're going to add your vanilla. Once everything is melted. Because the vanilla is the last thing you want to add, because it, you know, I don't know, it makes it better. Like, if you don't add it while it's cooking, it's better. So, a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just gauging because I pretty much know what a teaspoon is. So you just want to mix that in, get it all in. And yeah, so just let the butter melt, and that you'll be done with that. Alright, we pretty much have it set. The butter is melted, everything's nice and smooth, so we shut off the heat, we take it off, and we just set it to the side so we can start our next step. Alright, so I got a really big bowl here to fit 9 cups of Chex Mix, or Chex. And now I already know that there's 9 cups because, you know, I pre-measured all the bags, plus we're using the remnants of it. So that's, I believe that's the corn. This is the rice. And yeah, you can use 9 cups of whichever ones you want, to be honest. It doesn't have to be the multi-pack. You can just do corn, whatever your favorite Chex is. Now the reason why I started doing this recipe was because a couple years ago, back during Halloween season, they had these little baggies of candy out, and they had one that was like a Chex Mix one. And pretty much, let's get all this in there. Alright. And pretty much, we really loved the Chex Mix so much that we decided to figure out what the recipe was. Granted, they gave it on the box, but I since I've been using, you know, different recipe or different ingredients, or, you know, different measurements, that's what we went with. So yeah, ever since we started you know, getting the Chex, the Muddy Buddies for Halloween, we've gotten it. So now you're gonna take your chocolate mixture and you're just gonna pour it in here. But yeah, the Muddy Buddies are really good. They're a nice snack for kids. They're not too bad. I mean, sugary wise, they got peanut butter, a little bit of butter. It's not bad. But making them on your own, you can really control the ingredients, and you know, you don't have to worry about if there's any preservatives or anything like that. And yeah, these are really good. I'll snack on them all day. And as long as you limit yourself to a little bit at a time, they're not that bad for you. Alright, so at this point, we have our Muddy Buddies. We got the chocolate in there, and what you just want to do is just mix everything. That's honestly all you got to do. Get everything coated. You want to try and coat all the chocolate. Now you got to make sure to do this, by the way, while it's still warm. Otherwise, it can really turn into a something crazy. And don't worry about if you feel like you don't have enough chocolate, because this chocolate will spread out as you, you know, mix it into everything. Just gotta keep mixing until everything gets well incorporated. Another thing that you're gonna want to have on hand is you're definitely gonna want to have a plastic bag, like a saran wrap or a food saver bag, you know, storage bag or whatever. Because what we're going to do next is we're going to take this stuff and we're going to place it in the food bag. And then we're going to pour the powdered sugar in. Although, granted, you could probably do it right here. You could probably pour the powdered sugar in. And we're going to mix that all around. So I'll be back when I get everything evenly coated. Alright, so as you can see, everything's fairly coated. Now what we're going to do, the chocolate is still a little warm. So what we're going to do is we're going to add... You can add 1.5 cups of confectioner sugar or powdered sugar, but I'm just going to add as much as I think I need. Honestly, I'd love to try just pouring it in here and mixing it around and see if that would work, but I don't want to screw up the recipe. See, but I'm sure it would be fine. But let's put it in the bag. We put in some confectioner sugar in the bag. Maybe a little more. We'll have to put more in. But yeah, this is a fun recipe to even do with the kids. So what you want to do, obviously, is take some, pour them in the bag. I don't know how much of this you can see, but we're just pouring the stuff in the bag. Obviously, we won't be able to fit all of it. We'll have to do this in batches. And yeah, try to get like at least 1/3 in there, if you could. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. This This is a go-to snack we do now, ever since Halloween of, I don't know, a couple of years ago. So you want to seal the bag. That's alright if there's a little air in it. And you just want to shake it up like I'm doing here. And you just want to shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. See? See what I'm doing? Just gotta shake it. Get the confectioner sugar all up in there. And then what we're gonna do, see, this is why it might be easier just to pour everything in. You know what? Let's give it a go. Let's give it a try. What the heck? Just a little bit. See if this works. Because then we can save ourselves some time. So what? Yeah, this is actually better. Just mix it all like this. Yeah, this is like a. We found out something new, right? Right, just like this. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna pour this all back in. But yeah, I'll show you what the Muddy Buddies should look like. They should look like this, right? They should look like little Chex like this. You see how it's kind of covered with powdered sugar? Well, it doesn't have to be totally covered, but it's got to be a little like that. And yeah, it's good. So what you're gonna do after we get done with this, just mixing everything around. Yeah, I think this is easier. Then you don't gotta waste a bag. If you got a big enough bowl, why not just do it all in one bowl? Makes more sense. You might need more powdered sugar, but what you'll do now is you'll put this on a cookie tray and let it dry. Let it cool. Let the chocolate cool down totally to room temperature, and then just store it in an airtight container. It'll probably last you. It'll last you at least 2-3 weeks. But I can't imagine it actually. I can't imagine it lasting that long in our house. I mean, this stuff we go through fairly regularly. We go through a lot of it. Well, not a lot of it, but a good amount whenever we make it. We don't make it all the time. So yeah, just keep mixing it together, just like you would with the chocolate, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Alright, so we're back, and yeah, here's the Muddy Buddies here. As you can see, I put them in a smaller container. They're very delicious. They're little chocolatey treats made from Chex, and yeah, I think they're pretty good. They're a little sweet. There's some peanut butter in there. It's very good. Depending on what type of Chex you make it with, can make it different. But I think they're a very easy recipe. You can do them for a party. It's a lot of fun. The kids get them mixing with their hands, even if you want. Make sure to wash them, of course. But anyways, yeah, they're little sweet, crunchy treats, and they're very good. So I've been Pete, or Kenshin1913. I'll see you in the next Cooking with Kenshin1913. As my mom would say, enjoy and happy eating.